Hey guys, so today I'm going to review a history curriculum. Last year I did mostly unit studies and that worked fine for us last year. This year I wanted to actually start going over a timeline. I wanted to actually start covering things that the kids would need to know, covering, from the dawn of history on. So I was trying to find a curriculum that we could sort of get and stick with and kind of hang out with for a couple of years as we kind of went through time. Through my search, I found something called History Odyssey. So here's the cover page for my binder. This is for the ancients. So I bought it. I actually bought mine on Amazon. I didn't buy it from the publisher. It came pre-hole punched and everything. So it came in a little plastic thing. Pulled it open, put it in a binder. Super easy. So this curriculum, it sort of entwines Story of the World and Evan Moore's History Pockets. So if anybody has ever used Evan Moore, pretty much anything, their books are really awesome. My kids love them. I love them. Really easy. And the combination of Story of the World and Evan Moore is pretty cool. The curriculum is open and go. I mean, as long as at the beginning of the year you get what you need, it's easy. The only things you really need are a couple of books and then a very large construction paper. Let's see. It would say in Evan Moore, and I'll find that. But so the 3 books that this curriculum works with, for the most part, there's more in each lesson. There's suggestions and like suggestions for that lesson. And there's also another book, which I will look that one up. I don't have it, and I don't feel like I'm missing out anything. So the first book is Story of the World. It goes with Story of the World, and then you pick the Story of the World that goes along with that lesson. So History Odyssey comes in 4 groups. It is ancient, medieval, early modern, and then modern, or something like that. And you can also do those 4 times in a row to pretty much get through all of your schooling. So you would do it once and then you kind of keep going. The other one is Evan Moore History Pockets. So here's the Ancient Civilization History Pocket. Guys, this book is so cool. It's fun. It's hands-on. My kids love these books. I'm going to show you their history pockets. So it's these 2. And then every lesson has Usborne, a page to read, and then in this book there's internet links. So it's the Usborne Encyclopedia of World History. This book is super cool too. My kids just pull this book out and read it when we're not doing history. Okay, Byzantine Empire. That's not what we're doing, but that's what I opened to. So there's a lot of really awesome pictures, little blurbs, maps, kind of talks about it. There's usually a timeline on the page, sort of talks about all of it. So then you go on to right up in the top corner, it tells you what the website is. Go to the website and you type in what Usborne book you're using and what page you're on. So you type in, the World History book, and then there's a pull down menu and you pick what page you're looking at that day. And it gives you videos. It gives you interactive activities online, and it also will just give you things to read. So we did one of our Egyptian lessons was about mummification, and the Usborne link was actually it was a online game where they could mummify a person. So, the pharaoh passed. Hold on, I'm going to give my baby some Cheerios. The pharaoh passed, and they needed to mummify his body so that, he could get to the afterlife. And so then they have to, in this interactive game, go play. So it's really cool. Okay, so now for the actual History Odyssey and how it all sort of comes together. So, in the first, let's see, 1, 2, 4. The first 4 books are explaining how to use the curriculum. And then there is a suggested weekly schedule That's a really good schedule. At the beginning of the year was like, oh, I'm going to change this and I'm going to, use it how I want to. No, just do it. It's really easy. It's 36 weeks. So if you're following a semi-traditional school calendar, you can kind of knock this out in a year. It's pretty easy. I have already planned it out for a whole year. We start in August and school till June, and then take a Christmas break, a fall break, and a spring break. And we're pretty good. I mean, that takes us to the end of school. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a lesson that I liked because that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so here's the Egyptian pyramid lesson. Let me bring it closer so you guys can see. Okay, so it says, Lesson 7, Egyptian Pyramids. And then it sort of says, this is what you need to prep for your lesson. Gather supplies from page 8 in the Ancient Egyptians and Their Neighbors. So that's another book. I never heard of the book. I got it. So I sort of went ahead. You have most everything you need. Sometimes they have recommendations for other things. I got that book. I love that book. It's an awesome resource. You should absolutely get it if you decide to go with this curriculum. And then it just says, copy pages 38 and 43 in your history pocketbook, one for each child. So I'm doing 2 kids right now with this curriculum. I printed 2 copies off. What I also do is I do like weeks in advance. So I take my book up to the printer, figure out what I need, and then I just keep it in a folder, kind of tucked in the back of the binder. That way when we open it up, I already have those pages printed and ready to go. And then so it says, read CHOTW. This is the book that I do not have, and I will tell you what that book is in a minute. I don't feel like I'm missing anything by not having it, but I mean, somebody might, if you want it, get it, but I don't feel like I'm missing anything. And then it says, read Story of the World, Chapter 4, use the children's dictionary, and then you help them define something. Continue working on your history pocket, ancient Egypt pocket. And then you're going to build a pyramid, and then you draw a picture. So now I'm going to find my kids' history pocket so I can show you how they sort of go together. It also says additional activities. It gives you some recommended videos to watch. And then it says book list. We do our weekly trip to the library. Oh, look, there's one of my kids working on her math. So here's the recommended book list. So then it gives you a book of suggested books that you can read along with that lesson, just for more stuff. So we have a ton of books at home. So my kids kind of just pick around. Sometimes the books that we don't have, we might check them out at the library and maybe even read them just while we're sitting there. We don't always bring them home. Okay, so that's CHTOW. I think it's like children's something. Okay, well, I'm going to keep looking because... A Child's History of the World. It says optional. It actually even says in the... I can't even pull my camera around, but I'm going to show you guys. It says optional. So that's obviously why I felt I didn't need it. So you open up your lesson, you look at your lesson in your history Odyssey, and then you start making your history pockets. So here are the history pockets. They're really cool. Ours are still loose. I will bind them at some point at the end of the year when we're done, but I haven't yet. So at the beginning of the year, they make a beginning. This construction paper is like 15 by something. It's crazy. And then you fold it and you make a pocket. So my kids have been putting all the maps from all of the different lessons in here. So we've got the Fertile Crescent. We've got ancient Egypt. Here is his picture of the Fertile Crescent of people in Mesopotamia. Oh, no, this is the Indus River Valley. So we're going to be stapling these together. The Indus River Valley does not have its own history pocket, so I kind of staple them to keep them together. Here's Indus River Valley. So I put all the maps in the cover pocket. I put them in the back because some of the lessons have their own pockets and some don't. So I just feel like keeping all the maps there together, just for me, that makes sense. So here are the history pockets. So here's one. This was actually our first lesson. What is history? So we sort of start talking about ancient people. Here's a map. The history pockets also have these for each time you make a pocket. Words to know. So here's your vocabulary words. There's a whole page that you are coloring and then cutting off of. And then this is so what is history? Well, history is the past. That's what it is. What's the next one? Basic needs. What are basic needs? Food, shelter, and clothing. So this is cool. It just goes in their pocket, something interactive. Let's see. Okay. So we did ancient Mesopotamia. There is actually puppets here. We've got puppets. Let's see. Oh, ziggurat. Pretty cool. It's a little pop-up. Can you see it? There's also the words to know, the little pop-up words. Here with Mesopotamia, we did a weaving project, and then I put it in. So everything is sort of going in these history pockets. Then in some lessons, you have vocabulary words. So I give my kids an index card. They write on the index card. This is my second grader. Look at his handwriting. Isn't that amazing? So here is, the vocabulary word is Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia was a place in ancient civilization. And then cuneiform. And so he's writing the word up, writing the definition, and it goes in that history pocket to stay with everything else. This is cute too. A lot of the pockets have postcards. So you write a postcard as if you are like time travel, or as if you're there sort of thing. Like, hey, this is what I learned. So then on the back, it's just like this. So we write an address, and then we write our message or what we learned about those people. And then, so here is, we talked about the ancient Egypt lesson. Here is our ancient Egypt pocket. So you make the pocket, open the pocket. In this pocket, we've got quite a bit of stuff. So I'm going to take it out. I'm going to show you guys. So we've got our definitions. We've got our postcard. One of the lessons says to draw a picture, something that you learn in the mummification lesson. So here's King Tut's mummy. And, a bunch of vocabulary words. So mummy, god, Sahara Desert, and papyrus. Okay. There's also things like this. There's all kinds of things like this all through the Evan Moore history pocket. It's the Nile River interactive thing. So it talks about the Nile River. There's a little write-up about it. And then it sort of shows you a map of the Nile River. And you sort of make little things like this. The crocodile can go up and down. It's cute. I really, really, really like this Evan Moore history pocket. The kids have enjoyed it. They like making all the things. I never get a complaint from history ever. Words to know. So then these are the words that went with the Egypt pocket. And then there, in each lesson, there is this for most of the pockets. So it's just a quick write-up. I print it and I let the kids color it. We actually have a hieroglyphics book, so we wrote our name in hieroglyphics. But each thing has a little write-up about the time period, the people, what they did, their needs, things like that. So this is what we've gotten so far with History Odyssey. I really like this curriculum because it is a combination of Story of the World, which so many people love, and history pockets, which is just fun, and you're getting all these great resources through the Usborne books, watching videos, interactive stuff. So I do like that. Here is you heard me mention it because I said it for that lesson that I was reading about, but it is ancient Egyptians and their neighbors. There's another one for some lessons coming up. I think it's ancient Israelites and their neighbors. In this book, there's really, really, really neat stuff. Okay, so weaving on a hanging loom. It gives you history about it and tells you about it, and then it tells you how to do it. So it actually gives a little description. So you're going to hang the strings, you're going to weight them, that way they stay down, weave in them. Oh, you're making ancient bread. This is actually what archaeologists have recovered from this ancient recipe. It was kind of cool. It was interesting to read about it. It calls for a flour that we don't even have anymore. We don't even know what it is, but they have recreated the recipe the best that they could. So you're doing that. There's different kinds of meals and feasts, and you're making statues like paper mache statues, and let's see what else. Either way, I really, really, really like this book. Oh, there's also a lesson for Mesopotamia when they talk about clothing, and so it actually shows you like how to like wrap, sort of like toga style wraps. That was fun. The kids liked that. There was doing like engraving, like seals. Yeah, here you go. The queen's headdress. So you're making that. I mean, and here's the toga. So we have enjoyed this book. It's a fun edition. The book isn't cheap. I got it on Amazon for like, I think $17 or $18. And there was 2 of them in the lesson, or at least that I've read so far. I've sort of checked our lessons at least through the end of this year, so through December. And these are the 2 books that I purchased. I don't know if there's more like for the spring, but I feel like it was a good purchase. Even if we only do a couple of things out of it, it was still beneficial, and it was still fun. It was something additional that we got to do that the kids liked. So next year when I get the next one, so next year we'll be doing medieval. I'm gonna review it again because I really like this curriculum, and I feel like when I was picking it, there wasn't a lot of information on it. Even I found the curriculum, but even like reading reviews, there wasn't even a lot, and there was like no video reviews. So I really wanted to review it. I hope it was helpful. If it wasn't, or if I missed something, or you want me to cover something that I didn't cover, leave a comment and I'll try to go back and touch on it a little bit. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.